JBN, we keep you informed. Igla murdered in Westmoreland home invasion. Attackers on the run. The police are reporting that 27-year-old Jermaine Cooper, a higgler of Seaton Crescent in Westmoreland, was shot and killed in his community on Saturday. It is reported that about 10:50 p.m. Cooper was at home when he was pounced upon by two gunmen who kicked open a door and opened gunfire, hitting him multiple times. The police were summoned and Cooper was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Former Mapen Mayor Milton Brown has died. Former Mayor of Mapen and Councillor for the Mineralites Division in Clarendon, Milton Brown, died early Monday morning. Brown had been battling cancer for the past few months. He also suffered a massive stroke. Mayor of Mapen, Winston Maraj, said the municipal corporation is in mourning. He was a good man, someone I enjoyed working with on the finance committee. He was appreciated by those whom he served in the Mineralites Division, said Maraj about the man who served as councillor from 1998 to the time of his death. St. Mary man arrested following ammunition seizure. Charges are pending against the St. Mary man after being held by the police following the seizure of several rounds of ammunition in Blueberry Corner, Islington. The police report that a team was on patrol in the area about 11:30 Saturday night when the man was seen acting in a manner that aroused their suspicion. According to the police, the man made an attempt to run after allegedly removing and discarding several rounds of ammunition from his pocket. The police say 16 9mm cartridges were later retrieved and he was accosted. His identity has been withheld pending further investigations. Shaggy pushes for U.S. visas for Bounty and Beanie. On the heels of last weekend's titanic clash between dancehall artist Beanie Man and Bounty Killer that captured the attention of international fans, media outlets, and industry players, there is a push for the two to be reissued with United States visa to promote Jamaican music and culture. The self-styled King of the Dancehall and the Warlord were featured on the Versus Instagram platform, being promoted by producers Sweets Beats and Timbaland. The performance of the two racked up more than 500,000 views, although the counter did not factor restreaming on other platforms. This was a boost to our spirits, our tourism, our economy, our music, and most importantly, brand Jamaica, international reggae artist Shaggy, whose given name is Orville Burrell, said. Shaggy has called on Prime Minister Andrew Holness to lobby for the two to be reissued visas and work permits. It's about time we rally the powers that be to free up these artists, allow them traveling visas and work permits so they can travel freely to promote our culture and represent our brand. I am calling on the Jamaican government, the U.S. Ambassador, and the United States Embassy to at least start having a dialogue where this is concerned, Shaggy said in a post on Instagram yesterday. He also urged Olivia Green, Jamaica's culture minister, to intervene. The culture needs it, the music needs it, the economy needs it, the country needs it, and the fans need it, pleaded Shaggy. Bounty Killer, whose lyrics are often laced with depictions of gun violence and murder, had his U.S. visa cancelled in 2010. At the time, an email advisory was sent to airlines not to board the artist, as well as 3 other DJs, as their visas were being revoked. The United States Embassy in Kingston has not said why his visa was revoked. Beanie Man has also had his visa revoked. Several other dancehall acts are without a U.S. visa, among them Popcorn and Tommy Lee Sparta. Teachers are scared to death of re-entering classrooms, says Speed. President of the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, Owen Speed, says the nation's teachers are afraid of re-entering the classroom to facilitate students sitting the Caribbean Examinations Council CXC exit exams in July. The teachers are scared to death over the fact that they think they're going back to school on the 8th of June is really premature and dangerous, said the JTA head, making reference to the COVID-19 pandemic. Minister with Oversight Responsibility for the Education Portfolio, Carl Samuda, had stated that face-to-face classes are to resume between June 8 and July 3 to facilitate revision. Despite resistance, CXC had insisted that the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate (CSEC) and the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination (CAPE) exams will begin on July 27. The JTA president argued that while his association had opposed the July sitting from day one, the Jamaica Association of Principals of Secondary Schools accepted the date. We think that it was irresponsible of the Secondary Schools Principals Association and the Ministry of Education. In fact, we thought that the Secondary Schools Association created the mess and the Ministry of Education wallowed in it to come up with a decision to hold this sitting in July, asserted Speed, who suggested that September would be a better date. Speaking on Friday following a central executive meeting of the over 25,000 member strong association, Speed argued that a component of good leadership is to be empathetic towards the people who you lead and to look at things that would affect them as a result of decisions taken. He said the decision made is insensitive to the welfare of the students and the teachers because to put them out there, many of whom take public transportation to get to and from school, and to put them out there like that is like the lamb to the slaughter. The JTA head is also questioning if there will be a limit to the number of people gathered in an examination center at a time when the government currently has in place a no gathering of more than 20 people in any one place. Speed is also questioning if any due diligence was done by the principals and the ministry in the form of an audit to find out how many students and the teachers had underlying health conditions that would render them susceptible to the disease. Additionally, he wants to know if consideration was given to teachers with young children at home at a time when daycare centers are closed. The JTA head said he's waiting to hear the position of the National Parent-Teacher Association on the matter. The government ordered schools closed on May 13, 3 days after the country recorded its first confirmed case of COVID-19 as part of efforts to contain the spread of the virus. As of Sunday, May 24, Jamaica had 552 confirmed cases of the coronavirus, with 9 deaths and 211 recoveries. With all those restrictions that are out there in the place, we moved from one case and we're now at 552. Can you imagine sending out teenagers out there loosely, 40,000 of them, and how many thousands of teachers, he asked, questioning what would happen should there be an outbreak at an examination center. The JTA president argued that while it is important to sit the exam, the sitting should be delayed. The ideal thing is to sit the exam, but give it some more time. And if we can't sit it because of COVID persisting, then all we have to do is to move to some other option. And that could include using the SBA and give them a score, suggested Speed. Jamaica accounts for approximately 49% of the students from the Caribbean who will be sitting the exam, while Trinidad and Tobago accounts for 20%. Jamaicans urged to follow protocols as they return to work on June 1. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is encouraging Jamaicans who will be returning to work on June 1 to act responsibly and to follow the protocols that have been implemented to lessen the possibility of their contracting coronavirus and minimize the spread of the virus. We know the measures that we have to take until we get a vaccine. Let us follow those measures faithfully and let us be responsible. Together we will overcome this pandemic stronger and better, the Prime Minister said. Holness was speaking at a ceremony for the National Labour Day project at the St. William Grant Park in downtown Kingston on Monday, said while companies were encouraged to have their employees work from home as a part of COVID-19 safeguards, it is important for businesses to return to full capacity. At the same time, he cited several issues that must be addressed, including transportation and the care and the supervision of children who are no longer in schools. How we get back to work in this period of pandemic is therefore of critical importance, Holness emphasized. Consequently, he reiterated that the COVID Economic Recovery Task Force, which includes several multi-sector stakeholders, is working assiduously to establish the relevant protocols to be followed. They are all working on the right set of protocols that is safe for everyone to go back to work, that those children who are still at home because we have had to close our schools, that there will be enough provisions in terms of allowing for time to ensure that there's a proper care at home for those children and protocols for taking the public transportation, the Prime Minister said. Additionally, he noted that there are provisions under the Flexible Work Arrangements Miscellaneous Provisions Act that can also be implemented. We have to survive the pandemic, but we also have to survive the recession. Two imperatives. We have to work, and we have to work safely, Holness said. So we're putting in place all the measures, and with your cooperation, with your faithful keeping of the protocols, we will overcome this pandemic. We will recover our lost productivity, and we'll be a stronger society and economy, the Prime Minister said. Regarding the theme for Labor Day, Labor at Home, Clean Up, Fix Up, Plant Up, he reminded Jamaicans to prepare for the hurricane season and to start a backyard garden, as the pandemic has shown the need for greater food security. The cleaning of the statues of the nation's founding fathers, Sir Alexander Bustamante and Norman Manley, which are located at the northern and southern ends of the park, constitutes this year's national project. The scope of works include repairs to the base of the statues, repair of electrical conduits, and landscaping. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.